Assalamualaikum, and I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Zahid bin Sabri, and today my group is gonna present about the type of system in air conditioning. So, I want to go on my first slide is about what is HVAC system. HVAC system is the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system are designed to provide a comfortable environment for building occupants. And heating unit move warm air through a building, and cooling unit remove heat water from air in a building and deposit it outside. And the lastly is HVAC system is to control the temperature, humidity, ventilation, and air quality. And the next slide is about basic component in air conditioning. So in air conditioning system, we have four important component, which is the first one is compressor. Compressor is the mechanical device to pump refrigerant to the system. It separate high pressure system from the low temperature system. So the second component is condenser. Condenser has a coil which help to get rid of the heat from the space. And the third component is metering device, or other people said capillary tube or TSV also can. And what it does is provide required refrigerant to the evaporator coil for the proper cooling of the room. And the last component is evaporator. Evaporator is to provide cool air into the room. So we go to the third slide. Okay, the third slide is tell about the flow process of air conditioning system. So firstly, I want to go through the inside compressor when the flow process happen. So the compressor is to compress the refrigerant and raising its temperature and pressure. And after that, compressor will push the refrigerant into the condenser, and condenser will blow heat from the condenser fan through the coil and release the heat to the outside. And after that, refrigerant is flow into the metering device, this which is state where the liquid change to vapor. And the metering device also turn the refrigerant into a low temperature and low pressure liquid. And after that, it's go inside the evaporator, where the evaporator is absorb heat from the surrounding and release the cool air to the room. So on the last slide is about the type of system in air conditioning. So we have four type of system in air conditioning, which is the first one is central air conditioner, and secondly is ductless mini split, and thirdly window air conditioning, and the last one is hybrid air solar conditioning. So with all this system is gonna explain later by Jiha and Akmal. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Ida Najah binti Junus from 3BMMH, Section 101. I will continue the presentation from Uzair. This about the type of air conditioner. The first type of air conditioner is a central air conditioner. A central air conditioner is a system in which air is cooled at a central location and distributed to and from room and space by one or more fans and ductwork. How it works? It is a split system with one outdoor unit as known as a compressor bearing unit, and the indoor coil is usually installed on top of the furnace in the home. The compressor pumps the refrigerant through the system to get heat and moisture from indoor and remove it from the home by using the electricity as its power source. Next, heat and moisture are removed from the home when warm air from inside the home is blown over the cooled indoor coil. Lastly, the heat in the air transfer to the coil until cooling the air. The heat that has transferred to the coil is the pump to the exterior of the home, while the cooled air is pumped back inside is function to helping maintain a comfortable indoor temperature. Is also is provided through a packaged unit or a heat pump. The thermostat, which is typically mounted on a wall in a central location within the home, monitors and controls the temperature of the indoor air. The cooling process starts when the thermostat senses the air temperature needs to be lowered and send signal to the air conditioning system component both inside and outside the home to start running. The fan from the indoor unit pull hot air from inside the home through return air ducts. This air passes through filter where dust, lint and other airborne particles are collected. The filters warm indoor air that passes over the cool evaporator coil as the liquid refrigerant inside the evaporator coil convert to gas. Heat from the indoor air is absorbed into the refrigerant, thus cooling the air as it passes over the coil. The indoor unit's blower fans then pump the chiller air back through the homes that were out into the various living area. The refrigerant gas leaves the home through a copper tube and passes into the compressor in the air conditioner unit outside. Think of the compressor as a large electric pump. The compressor pressurizes the refrigerant gas and send the refrigerant into the outdoor unit. Condenser oil, a large fanful outdoor air through the condenser coil, allowing the air to absorb heat energy from the home and release it outside. During this process, the refrigerant is converted back to a liquid. It travel through a copper tube back to the indoor unit, where it passes through a expansion device, which regulated the flow of refrigerant into the evaporator coil. The cool refrigerant then absorb more heat from the indoor air and the cycle continues. The second type of air conditioning is ductless mini-split. A ductless mini-split aircon or HVAC system is also known as a mini-split. Is a compact split system, is conditioner or heat pump. Like a central aircon or heat pump system, the ductless mini-split features both an indoor air handlers and the outdoor compressor. How it works is the indoor unit blow warm air from home over cool evaporator coil. The refrigerant running through this coil absorb the heat from the air and bring it to the outdoor unit, is where the refrigerant dump. Or the heat is pulled from the home air. The slide shows that the example of type of indoor unit ductless mini split, which is cylindrical chassis, horizontal ducted and floor mounted. First off, the air is taken in from the room through the air handling unit. The unit can see on the wall on the inside of home and places of work outfitted with HVAC system. This air is then transported to the condenser outdoor unit via a series of pipes where it is brought into contact with a series of coils containing coolant. When the hot, humid air inside the room comes into contact with the coil, it transfers its energy to them, turning the coolant liquid inside into gas. The gas is then sent off to the compressor pipe of the condenser unit, where it is recycled using electricity back into a liquid. The newly coolant air is then fed to the air handler, where it is ejected back into the room. With repeated cycle, the temperature of the room falls.
Hello, I am Muhammad Iqmal bin Muhammad Zaidi. So I will continue about this topic. So there are two left for type of air conditioning. The first one that I have here is um, window air conditioning type. So the definition of the air conditioning type is the simplest form of an air conditioning system, and then it is mounted on windows, which is suitable for people live in apartment or shop house. Alright, so how the system works. The first one is the thermostat is mounted on the return of the unit, and then the temperature is used to control the on and off and the on or off the compressor. Alright, so once the temperature has been achieved, the compressor will cut off by itself. Okay, so we need it needed to be off for 3 minutes before turning on again to prevent it from being damaged. Alright, evaporator blower fan will suck the air from the room to be conditioned through the air filter and the cooling load. Conditioned air then discharged and deliver the cool and dehumidified air back to the room. Okay, the last one. The last step is introduction of fresh air from outside the room is done through the damper, which is then mixed with the return air from the room. Okay. Okay, so let's go to our last part. Okay, so the last type of air conditioning we have here is solar hybrid air conditioning. Okay, so the definition for the solar hybrid is the use of two or more technologies to achieve a common goal, resulting in a reduction to the total energy use. Okay, so we proceed with the process. So basically, solar hybrid air conditioning have contain standard compressor, evaporator, condenser, and refrigerant. A solar hybrid air conditioning system is adapted for converting waste heat energy into useful heat energy. Okay, so the system includes a plurality of heat absorbing units, such as a heat exchange unit, a coolant, a condenser, an expansion valve, a control unit, and a evaporator. So the fourth one is plurality of heat absorbing units is adapted to absorb the waste heat energy from the environment. So the fifth one is exchange the absorbed heat energy to the compressor unit. The sixth one, compressor unit utilize the absorbed heat energy uh, for increasing the temperature and pressure of the coolant. So the seventh one is the expansion valve is adapted to reduce the pressure and temperature of the liquid coolant. So the last one, the last process is evaporator is adapted to evaporate the coolant from a liquid state into a gaseous state. Okay, so the last one we have here is a conclusion. Alright, so let's go to the conclusion. Okay, so we have 3 points for the conclusion. The first one is all types of air conditioning have 4 main process, which is just like I said right now: condenser, evaporator, compressor, and refrigerant. Alright, okay, so the second point is each of the type have its own criteria, just like we have explained to you guys just now. Alright, so the last one is all the working process are different for each of them. Alright, so that's it for our video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like. Bye bye.